They told you your soil was dead. They told you the only fix came in a 50-pound bag with a label you can't even pronounce. They told you to spend money every single season just to grow food in your own backyard. But what if I told you that the most powerful fertilizer on Earth is sitting in your yard right now, and you've been throwing it away every single week? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you something that old Appalachian farmers knew before chemical companies even existed. Something so simple it almost feels illegal. And by the end of this video, you're going to look at your grass clippings completely differently. This is not a trick. This is not a gimmick. This is biology, the same biology that built the richest soils in human history, long before NPK bags ever existed. I call it Earth's blood. And once you make it, your plants will never be the same. Let me ask you something. Have you ever driven past an old abandoned farm, one that nobody touches, nobody waters, nobody fertilizes, and wondered why everything growing there looks so impossibly green? Nobody's feeding that soil. Nobody's spraying it. And yet it thrives. That's not magic. That's the underground economy of the living soil working exactly the way nature designed it. And today, I'm handing you the key to that system. $40. Here's what you need. Grab a bucket, any bucket, 5 gallons works perfectly. Fill it about halfway with fresh grass clippings. The greener, the better. Freshly cut grass is loaded with nitrogen, the same nutrient that expensive fertilizers are selling you at $5 a pound. Then add water. Not tap water if you can avoid it. Rainwater is ideal, but if tap is all you've got, let it sit uncovered for 24 hours so the chlorine burns off. Fill the bucket until the clippings are fully submerged. Then add 1 tablespoon of molasses or plain white sugar. Just 1 tablespoon. That's your fuel. That sugar feeds the microbes that are about to wake up inside that water and turn your grass clippings into liquid gold. Now cover it loosely, not airtight. The mixture needs to breathe, and let it sit for 48 hours. Stir it once in the morning and once at night. You'll start to notice a smell. Not a pleasant one. That smell is the sign that something alive is happening inside that bucket. That's fermentation. That's biology. That's money working for free. And here's where most people make the fatal mistake. They make the brew, they get excited, and they pour it straight onto their plants at full concentration. Don't do that. This stuff is powerful. You need to dilute it, 1 part brew to 10 parts water. That's the ratio that turns this from a shock into a feast for your plants. Think of it like giving someone who hasn't eaten in weeks a full Thanksgiving dinner all at once. You ease them in. Now let me show you the cup test. This is the part that changes people's minds permanently. Take 2 identical cups of dry, dead-looking soil. The kind that cracks and pulls away from the edges of the pot. The kind that water just runs right through without absorbing. Pour plain water into the first cup. Watch it pool on top, bead up, and run straight down the sides without penetrating. The soil rejects it. That's hydrophobic soil, dead soil with no microbial life to hold structure. Now pour the diluted grass brew into the second cup. Watch what happens. The liquid is absorbed almost immediately. The soil opens up. It drinks. Because the microbes in that brew have already started breaking down the surface tension, rebuilding the microscopic architecture of the soil so it can hold moisture, hold nutrients, hold life again. That difference you just saw, that's the difference between a plant that survives and a plant that explodes with growth. Within 24 hours of application, the microbial activity in your soil will increase dramatically. The grass clippings carry natural bacteria that begin to break down organic matter into bioavailable nitrogen. The sugar or molasses feeds the bacterial population, multiplying it exponentially. What you're delivering to your plant's roots isn't just nitrogen, it's a living ecosystem. Enzymes. Beneficial bacteria. Natural growth hormones produced by the decomposition process. This is exactly what commercial liquid fertilizers are trying to replicate in a lab for $15 a bottle. And you're making it for free in a bucket on your porch. Here's something the old-timers in the Ozarks knew that modern gardeners have completely forgotten. Grass clippings contain what farmers used to call green manure. Before the chemical era, before World War II changed agriculture forever, farmers didn't buy fertilizer. They managed their land in cycles. Cut grass went back into the earth. Kitchen scraps went back into the earth. Everything was a loop. Nothing left the system. And those farms produced abundantly for generations without a single bag of synthetic NPK. We broke that loop when we started buying solutions instead of making them. Today we're restoring it. Now let me tell you about the nitrogen window. Most people don't know this. Fresh grass clippings are at peak nitrogen content within the first 6 hours after cutting. After that, they begin to lose potency as they dry out. So if you want maximum power in your brew, start the bucket within hours of mowing. Don't let those clippings sit in the sun and turn brown and dry. The moment they hit the ground, they're already beginning to break down. Capture that energy. Put it to work. There's another layer to this that most garden channels will never tell you. The fermentation process you're triggering in that bucket creates natural plant growth hormones, compounds called cytokinins and auxins. These are the same hormones that tell a plant to push new roots, to branch out, to develop stronger cell walls. Commercial rooting hormones sell these synthetic versions for serious money. Your grass clippings produce them naturally during fermentation. This is why plants treated with this brew don't just green up, they restructure. They get bushier. They root deeper. They become architecturally stronger plants. Apply this brew once a week for 3 weeks and then watch what happens to the soil itself. Not just the plants, the soil. You'll start to see earthworms appearing in places you've never seen them before. Earthworms are nature's quality signal. They don't move into dead soil. They move in when the microbial life is rich enough to support their food chain. Their presence means your soil is rebuilding. It's becoming something alive again. And once the worms are there, the cycle becomes self-sustaining. Their castings become additional fertilizer. Their tunneling aerates the soil. One bucket of grass brew sets an entire underground ecosystem in motion. If you want to push this even further, and this is the bonus that most people will never discover, add a small handful of finished compost to the bucket before you let it ferment. Not fresh scraps. Finished compost, the dark crumbly stuff from the bottom of your pile. That compost carries billions of diverse beneficial microorganisms. When you add it to the brew, those organisms multiply in the liquid medium and then get delivered directly to your plant's root zone in massive concentrated numbers. You're essentially creating a probiotic shot for your soil. Depression-era farmers in Kentucky and Tennessee did a version of this using barnyard water, the runoff from composting animal bedding, and they called it barn tea. Different ingredients, identical principle. Feed the soil life and the soil life will feed your plants. One final thing before you go make this today. The biggest mistake I see people make with any kind of natural soil amendment is impatience. They apply it once, they don't see tomatoes growing overnight, and they give up and go back to the chemical bag. Nature doesn't work in 48 hours for everything. The cup test shows you the soil opening up fast. The plants will visibly green up within the first week. But the deep structural transformation of your soil, the kind that makes every future season easier and more productive, that builds over months. You're not just feeding plants. You're building a civilization underground. Give it time. Your soil has been waiting for this. Every season you've been dumping synthetic fertilizers into dead dirt. You've been feeding the plant while starving the earth. This brew does the opposite. It feeds the earth first, and the earth takes care of the plant in return. That's the old way. That's the way that worked for 10,000 years before someone figured out they could sell you nitrogen in a bag. Go make your bucket today. Stir it tonight. By tomorrow morning, something will be alive in there that wasn't alive yesterday. And that's how it starts. If this hit different, if something in here made you rethink what you thought you knew about your soil, drop a comment right now and tell me, what are you planning to grow with this? I read every single one. And if you know someone who's been throwing away grass clippings every week without knowing what they're actually throwing away, share this with them. It costs nothing to change the way someone thinks about their land. Hit subscribe because next week I'm going to show you what happens when you combine this brew with something you already have in your kitchen, and the result is going to genuinely surprise you. Don't miss it.